so the next job is to strip everything out the corner of the engine bay, clean it all up and get some paint on it and stuff. I did want to finish jobs on the engine, but I'm still waiting on some parts. But I just had a wee moment here in my garage. I used to be the world's most disorganized person in the garage. I used to work at my parents' garage, and there was no lights, and it was all dirt, and and the mini showed. The first mini I had, it's a bit of a wreck. So anyway, I just had a moment there. I'm just going to show you a couple of modifications to my garage, if you like, recently, that I just thought, well, I've come a long way. Let's have a look. Right, so this is a cool thing. Some friends of mine who know who they are, who are moving house. They're clearing all loads of stuff out. This is just a wee set of drawers that used to be for stainless steel cutlery that they got for their wedding, that kind of thing. But and it's it's just made of hard cardboard kind of stuff. But these are the little things. It perfectly fits my medium socket set. I can still take it out there, take it somewhere, but it fits perfectly in there. Go. I got another drawer for, all kind of precision tools, feeler gauges, all that kind of stuff. And then in the top, kind of electrical things, sort of batteries, colour tune, battery charger, all of that stuff. Yeah, that just how far I've come since days of working in my parents' garage in the mess, So I've learned that being organised is half the battle, So if I want my tools close to me, I just set up some trestles like this, just so I'm not lying all over the floor and tripping over it. And I've got lighting issues in the garage at the moment. I haven't managed to get my kind of lighting all set up as I wanted it. So I just moved this angle poise light over here, just so that I've got direct light on where I'm working, so I don't lose things and I can see exactly what I'm doing. So now, off camera, I'm just going to strip all this stuff off because I don't think that you're going to learn anything from that. So next time I see you, I'll hopefully have all this stripped off, and we can assess how much of the paint needs stripped off and redone. Right, so here we go. All those bits from the corner out, and I may have got a bit carried away. Oh! Okay, so here's a quick shot of damage that it's done. Expensive mistake. Yet to discover whether it was just leaking out the cap or if one of the master cylinders, the original one, is maybe perforated. Sometimes it gets so thin that it just leaks a little bit. So I'll investigate that. But to explain why I took the subframe out is because when it's a bit grotty again still, but if you look at this, look, yeah, there you go. Stripped all the paint off it because the fluid was running down the bulkhead and dripping down on the subframe and going down. So I decided just to take all of this out here and freshen it all up before it goes back in the car. And obviously all those parts are off as well. Some are not strictly necessary, but all will become clear in another update. Okay, so here's what's stripped off. Wire wheeled it, scrapered it, and then I used some sort of really aggressive parts cleaner kind of thing to get everything out of the pores of the metal, if you like. And then I hit it with my version of Q-Rust, although it doesn't go purple like yours actual Q-Rust goes. It kind of stays clear, but that's what I've used throughout the whole build of the car, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. So yeah, it goes all the way down to there, just a strip where it was all been running down the bulkhead, right into the corner in there. Cleaned it up as much best I can. Yeah, and then so this will get um, yeah, this will get primed, and then I'll be able to blend it in with the Raptor, colored Raptor like it is before. I should be able to blend it in, because it's quite because of rough texture. I should be able to work it out. So yeah, let's go on with that. So we've got a mini man shed patented applicator for Raptor. We're gonna put a quote on here and see how it goes on. I've got it set at 4 bar, I think. Yeah, because if I find that higher pressure, you get smaller droplet size. So I want this to blend in. So we might, reduce the pressure as we go along for another coat, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to try and spray in one hand and hold the camera in the other. So I'm just going to swap hands. One, there we go. Right. Let's see. Right. Hopefully, I won't look like a right muppet. Let's have a go at this. Oh, what's going on? Okay. Let's see if we can get it all done. It's coming out nice. You can't load it up too much. You just have to go easy. You can do like a spray gun, where you pull the trigger, you get air but no paint. You can do that, and then you find a wee sweet spot where you start to get some stuff coming out. I like this applicator, I really do. Oh, starting to knock any paint. Hold on. We get some paint in the gun because I keep tipping it. Sorry, I keep tipping it, up this way, and I don't get any paint. So what you do is, I've got very little paint in the bottom of this, so I just straighten the gun up, do a straight bit, and then as soon as I've got some paint in the gun, I can get a couple of sprays before it kind of runs out again. It just means that I don't have to waste a lot of paint at the end, So let's see. You hear the change in noise? That's when it starts firing out the gun properly, To get behind these bolts here. Okay, let's head down over here a wee bit. There we go. Let's go down underneath. Can we get down underneath? I don't know if I can see. Can we see? I can't see what I'm doing. No. Come on. See that? Yep. Go. There we go. Coat one. We'll just give it a wee bit more. Hold on. Well, underneath. There we go. We'll give it a wee blow over. There we go. Right, I'm gonna leave that to flash for, I don't know, look at the sheet. Just see how long I can leave it for. Give it another wee spray before, so I don't waste the paint. But I think once I unmask all that, it's gonna look pretty good. So catch up with you in a minute. So that's the finished article. It's had 2 coats. Yeah, it looks okay. And but what I'm gonna do is once I've taken off all the masking, there will be obviously a line. They would see there's a bit of if there's a bit of primer that's gone under the tape or whatever, you know. So once I take that off, I've got some teal blue, which is the color of the car, in a can, and I'll just go along the edges and just blend it in a wee bit, and hopefully you'll never know. So that's just strip uh, all the protection off, and that's all ready to go, almost. So I'll just bring you over to the subframe. What I've done is I've gone around and I've buffed all the paint off that was all damaged with brake fluid or little chips, little, where the paint had been knocked off and all that. So I've gone around the whole thing, and I've gone over it with, what did I use? Let's see. Hold on. Right, so this is what I used. This is probably one of the first products I bought when I bought the car. Great stuff. That's what it was done originally. So I've just primed all the down to bare metal with this stuff, and then I'm going to finish it off with good old chassis black, just on a with a paintbrush, and that'll be that ready. I've freshened up my calipers. What I usually do on calipers, obviously, because if you get just normal paint in a tin, it's not rated for temperature. If your brakes, your calipers heat up, you can kind of damage the paint on them. So what I usually do is buff down all the metal. If I get a new caliper, for example, that's not anodized or anything, you want to paint it, I strip all the paint off it, and then I paint it with just something like this high temperature paint. It's rated up to 600 degrees, which your brakes are never going to get to, but I think it just gives it a bit of a layer of protection between the hot metal and the actual color paint on top. So yeah, so all the little chips and damaged paintwork on the calipers I've just gone over with a paintbrush. I sprayed some of this into the cap, and then just used a little paintbrush just to paint on all the primer, and then we'll go over it just with a brush again with some body color. The other thing I wanted to talk about was on the subframe. What I've actually done is, hold on, I'll go over here. There we go. Right. So the tie bars on your front subframe. I remember watching an episode on Stevenson Motor Co. It's a guys that professional mini builders. If you haven't seen it, if you don't know about it, give it a look. It's really great. So Stevenson Motor Co. I think they're in BC in Canada. But these suggests that what you should do is on your tie bars have the rubber, more flexible rubber one on the back, and a polyurethane bush on the front. And it's all about the transfer of weight when you're braking and stuff, so it doesn't change the geometry of your suspension. So, but if you go and look up, they've got a video on how to improve your mini suspension, and he talks about this. So I already had these bushes. I had polyurethane on both sides before, but I've just swapped them over just to give it a try, see what it's like. Why not? Anything to improve the handling. So I'm going to get all this painted up, and we'll move on to the next job. I thought I'd make use of the nice morning sun, take a photo of me getting carried away on my subframe. Just chassis black on put on with a brush, but I think it looks great. It's lovely and shiny, good thick layer of resistant paint now. Yeah, suppose at the moment our cars are not going to be on the road for a little while, unless we're going to get our shopping in them. So yeah, why not spend a wee bit of time? Not planning on taking the engine out anytime soon, so yeah, it was well worth it. It looks good.